That's in Genesis 29 and 25. Laban sugarcoated and said, stay here. You're part of the family. Work a little harder. Turning this man against his own religion, against his own himself. Because Jacob didn't know what he didn't go back home because he ran his brother twice. Because that day when he made that pot of stew, he gave up his birthright because of food. Sometimes you have to be careful. Food puts you in trouble. When you're hungry, listen to the people of God. Listen to the people of God. Listen to me. Because of food, Esau lost his birthright. So Jacob was very slick from day one. But he didn't realize how slick he was going to get. That his game caught up on him. Because game recognized game. Because he went to Laban's house. He wanted the prettiest, the best. Yes, they were cousins, but it was legal back then to marry a first cousin. He didn't care what happened in his life as long as he's not going back home. He was there for a couple of days or a couple of months and get a wife and go back home. He spent 20 years. 20 bitter years. And during the 20 bitter years he was there, it was not good. Because Laban's son, which is also his cousin, was watching him too. They knew he did something. Why you don't want to go back home? Somebody ever come to your house and extended their own stay? I'm just saying. He didn't want to go home. Yes. So now they started figuring out. I said, yeah, you have to know, but we watching you. Something wrong. Yeah, because his problem followed him wherever he went. You know, Laban deceived him. He went. The time came for him to go back home. Now he's going back home with 12 children. One in the bed, in the oven. And the daughter Dinah, they don't talk about her because she was a girl. And then back in those days, women were not relevant. You know. So Jacob had 13 kids, but they would talk about the 12 boys. But Dinah was also with them. And I did not know Jacob couldn't fight. As bad as Jacob was, he couldn't fight. Because when they raped Dinah, Jacob packed up and leave. He said, no, they're going to kill me. No, you have all these sons and these boys were criminals too. They were thugs. They didn't care. They had temper. So Jacob had to run away again. But before he got there, with the baby in the oven and everything, and they're on their way home, now he's going to have to meet up with his fear. Whatever caused you to run away, whatever is preventing anybody here from going to their country, whatever is preventing you from facing a certain individual, I pray God release you. Amen. Some of us, we cannot go back home. And even if we go home, we have to stay far away from the people that we love because we step on some people's toes. It's true. We did some things. None of us here are perfect. We did things in the past, but God, with grace and all His mercy, kept us. With all His, listen to me, in all His splendor. That's why we have to worship God. You see me up here worshiping God. It's the best time of my life when I'm in church. You hear me speaking in tongues. I'm praising God. It's the best time of my life because I did not know that He favored me like that. Amen. He kept me through all my tribulations. And now I can stand and tell you, listen, don't run from God's word. If there's a calling upon your life to do it, do it. Yeah. He will protect you. Amen. Jacob was in trouble of all that he inherited from his uncle. And it's time for him to go back home. He was in trouble. Something deep down inside of him was letting him know, no way you can face Esau because the last time you saw him, he wanted to kill you. So he was on his way back home because now he's wealthy. He got all thousands of animals. He's counted them. This is for my brother Esau. He did not want to apologize. He created a love gift. So that love gift, he had it. Oh, he sent his men ahead to send for Esau because now he felt privileged. He said, but this is the one thing. When he was leaving, he said, that was my brother. But now he's going back. He said, my Lord. So to whom honor is due, you have to give it. He honored his brother. He said, tell them the Lord has blessed me and I came back to bless you. But when the men went there, oh God, Esau came to meet them with 400 men. Now Jacob is in trouble because they have 400, my brother have 400 men. He's wealthy. Remember, Isaac blessed Esau also. Jacob got the bigger portion, but Isaac spoke a word. But remember, little is much when God is in it.
Amen.
Jacob didn't wait. He got it by rushing. So he had to fight for it. Now he's going back home. He have to meet with whosoever he step on your toe. There will be no peace in this house until there's peace with God.
Amen.
Yes. There's no peace until there's peace with God.
Amen.
It's the peace of God that passes all understanding
Yes.
to guard our heart and our mind. Nothing else. Nothing else. Man can't bless you. Man can't bless you. Only God can bless you.
Yes.
Now Jacob is blessed. He got all the blessings that he accomplished. He claimed he spent 20 years. So he's mad too because that's all he have in 20 years. No matter, you can't go back home broke. You can't go back home without. There got to be something you're taking back after all that you did to your brother. You can't show up without. He got a woman, the sister, the maids, a bunch of kids, and Laban didn't want to give him nothing. After all the hard work. So you see, sometimes when you don't wait on God, you have to get down on your knees. It don't happen overnight. It don't happen overnight. Jacob came back when it was time for him to really get down to business. When he realized that Esau is wealthy, now he's in bigger trouble because Esau was not impressed. Because if he's coming with 400 men, he's not impressed. You can't impress God. No. With material things.
It's true.
Jacob never made a sacrifice then. He didn't make a sacrifice to go home. And sometimes you have to pay. Because you rob somebody. You can't get away with it. You cannot rob God. And he promised that he was going to give God 10% of everything he had. He made that promise when he was running away. If God kept him, he will serve God with his tithes. Because he said 1/10 meaning his tithes. And you pick out, before you pick out for God, you pick out what you want to impress your brother with a love gift. You never sin and ask for forgiveness. Now the time has come when you're going to have to deal with God. Jacob was a runner. And when he found out that he had to do something, he was there, he was worshiping God. He sent everybody ahead and he's spending some time with God. Jacob spent the night with God face to face. The first thing that happened, the angel showed up and touched him in his hip. So now he can't run. Jacob can't run. He has to face his brother limping. People of God, let me tell you, no matter what happened in your life, oh God, I pray that there's no way you have to face situations like this. You are going to face your brother. You prepare the love gift and you can't walk. You can't walk. Remember, you was a runner. And now you can't walk. You think that was by an accident that the angel touched his hip? Do you think that was by accident he had to go back to his brother limping? This is not an easy thing to pull. When your hip is out of joint, let me tell you something. It's a lot of pain. It's agony. If your knee hurts, you're limping, right? If your ankle hurts, you're limping. Check out the hip. Check out the hip. He was a handicap. He ran away from his brother because of foolishness. His mother set him up. And he was going back now because he outgrew Laban. He outgrew his corner. Have you ever outgrew a space and you're wondering, where am I going to go now? This is not me. I'm behind. This is behind me. I'm bigger than this. It's just like the prodigal son. When it was time for him to go back home, he outgrew the pig pen. He outgrew eating with the pigs. So he had to go back home. So watch what Jacob did. He prayed. And back then, it was just the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac. And he called out to the God of Abraham and Isaac.